Hello, good evening. It's me again. The video was too long before. Couldn't use it on other platforms and couldn't edit it because of how I started. So I'm just going to try this again. So welcome. It's 19:30, 7:30 now. So I promised 7 o'clock. I did do it, but I've just had to delete it. It's just an update about Lightening the Load project. To let you know it's happening. I'm really pleased that we've got this project off. It's been happening anyway, but this is kind of bringing it to you deeper. Lightening the load, and it's all for us, for women of colour, black and brown women, predominantly African, Caribbean, Asian. The programme comes to you because we're going to look at the realness of how tradition and culture impacts us when we have been sometimes through trauma. And when I talk about trauma, we don't mean you have to have be physically assaulted or in a very toxic, abusive relationship. What we're talking about here is how culture and traditions have impacted on how we are as women, and how it impacts on the load that we carry on a day-to-day basis. So what the expectations are of us as women, as mothers, as daughters, as wives or partners, as siblings, so as a sister, as members of our community, how we go through life accepting certain patterns of behaviour in the name of culture and tradition, and recognising the cultural complexities of what we as women go through on a regular basis, and exploring our roles, the role that we play as Black, African, Caribbean, as Asian women. Yeah, the roles that we play and how that could impact on our growth, on our development, but also desensitize us to patterns of behavior that does not serve us, that causes us pain, that causes us trauma, and we accept it, because gradually it erodes who we are and what we stand for. Looking at the boundaries that we have to set for ourselves in order to navigate our environments, the culture and traditions. Also recognising the journey that we have taken, and how some of our trauma has impacted us, and how we heal, how we've gone through healing. Maybe we haven't talked about it. Sometimes we do. Some things we don't talk about. Recognising how far we have come and the impact and the contribution that we make to our society, to our community, that we are finding is sometimes goes unrecognised. So lifting ourselves up in that sense. Working on ways to put ourselves first. What we do know is that as working with women from different cultural backgrounds, our needs are last. We don't put our needs first. And how we navigate that. Have we dealt with it? Do we continue to put ourselves last? And why is that? What is that about? Is it the cultural complexities of our worlds as women from different continents, as women who are born into different cultural from different cultural backgrounds. How do we use self-love and self-care to our benefit? Do we do it enough? Do we do it at all? I don't know. These are the conversations that we'll be having. Each session for 5 weeks will be 1.5 hours long. So we will do activities, we will talk and educate, share information, and also get our creative juices going in order to create a forum of self-expression as women. We are excited because during lockdown, it has become very apparent that there are environments that have not been conducive to our mental health and well-being, and lockdown has brought those issues to the fore for everybody, I think, but for certain members of the community, of our community, more than others. And what we do know is that we need to start talking about it positively and in a healthy environment. So 5 sessions of 1.5 hours. What I would like you to do is to sign up. I'm going to put the link underneath and above, depending on which platform you're watching on. So underneath and above, and on our profiles as well, where you can register for the Lightening the Load programme. We want to just kind of make you feel a bit lighter. Let's just get some of these things off our backs and off our chests, off our shoulders. Let's talk about it, and let's recognise the journey that we have been on, and it could help the younger generation, the women in our families, our nieces, our daughters, our godchildren. So many younger women out there can learn from us, but we need to be open and expressive about it. So trauma comes in so many different forms. It's not just about relationships with love, with partners, with husbands. It's relationships with family. It's relationships with work colleagues. It's relationships at school, because I know some of the trauma that I have experienced has come from school with regards to race and identity, and how that has impacted on self-love, and how one sees self. And it's those areas that we're going to navigate and explore. And also the strength as well that we get from our elders, our mothers, our aunties, our grandmothers, but the traditions that they may have thought was okay, and it's just the way it is. Do they serve us today? And let's talk about that. Are they serving us, or are they just making life harder? I'm not sure. Okay, I don't want to kind of put words into anyone's mouth, but I would love you to register for these sessions. It's free sessions. Register on the form. We've got a half an hour overview of the course via Zoom. So you need to register, and I will send you the Zoom link. We'll make that safe and confidential, that session. So please share this with your friends and family, anyone that you think would be interested. This is about us. This is about our culture, our traditions, our lives, which are rich in positivity, and things that we understand that we need to talk about positively in order to gain some perspective on being the best that we can be as women, okay, in this society, and especially in lockdown. Since lockdown, lots of reflection going on, and we could do some of that reflection together. Okay, so register below or above, and I'll send out the Zoom link. I hope that you find this interesting enough to bite. We want you with us, and be on a 5-week journey, and let's see where it takes us. Okay, have a lovely evening, and I will speak with you soon. Take care.